everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hi, hello. How we doing? As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm very excited. A little nervous because it's something that I don't normally do on my channel. Or I haven't done anything art-related in like over a year. So I was pondering, thinking, what would be a cool, fun idea that I can do on my channel to get me back into, I guess, like making little figurines. And like, I love air dry clay and polymer clay, like, because you get to create things and you get to really fall in love with your art style and everything like that. There's a Five Below near me. Why don't I saw some art stuff there. Why not I buy some stuff and see how well it turns out? And that's what I did. Most of the stuff I'm going to be using is from Five and Below, but I did have to get other stuff because Five and Below just doesn't have it. And I will tell you what I got from Five Below and what I didn't get from Five and Below. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Selena, and welcome to Selena's Home Entertainment, where I, Selena, entertain you. Yes, that's right, I am an artist. You subscribing, liking, and watching this video fully through helps in any way as well as commenting down below any ideas you want me to do art related that you would like to see on this channel. But yes, I went to Five and Below. If you don't know what Five and Below is, it's a shop. You're welcome. I would say it's like an in-between of like, if y'all know a Dollar Tree, I don't know, some of y'all are like out of the United States or anything like that, but like it's definitely like you'll see some expensive stuff, but there are like things that are not that expensive. And Five and Below is the whole point, is like everything is like $5 and below. Just like a Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, anything, those types of stores. And I saw that they have clay, like actual clay, which compared to like Family Dollar or Dollar Tree, they don't have like clay or anything you can actually like build with. So I thought it was like super interesting and really like, I wanted to try it out to see because I went to 2 different little art shops after Five and Below. And eventually I want to try out different types of clay and a polymer clay and different companies and different places. Like that is a goal of mine, is to try each clay to not to only give you guys, but since I am also very much a beginner in creating figures and creating all that stuff, they have a polymer clay kind of box thing, and they have an air dry clay. I got the air dry clay because I know how to work that better. Maybe in the future I'll do polymer clay. I haven't really worked with it well. I'm a little nervous because you have to oven bake it and stuff, so I don't know how well the clay works and stuff like that. But if you guys want me to try that one out, I will. This is air dry clay. It's a $5. 16 little pockets of air dry clay, including a little I'm gonna have to bring my scissors out. It's like a little box, a little storage box, so don't have to worry about where to store it because it's in its little thing. It has little things. There's instructions. Okay, I kind of like that. A little color scheme. Actually, that is a little bit helpful, honestly. Okay, so you're meant to mix these up. Like, it's pretty soft. I'm a bit worried that it is a bit too soft. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell that there's a lot of like liquid stuff, so I don't even know how much air, how much not air, you know, that kind of stuff is in here. Because air dry, unlike polymer clay, which can last like quite a while if you store it properly, obviously, air dry clay does have also a time limit because obviously it is in a stored container. that kind of stuff. So it could easily get dried up very easily within a month or two even. But $5, not bad for 16. I can't divide. I can do math. So I think that's pretty good. I don't know. Most air dried clay is pretty inexpensive. Clay in general, I think, is really inexpensive. I also got paint brushes. Look at this. She's cute. These are jelly handle brushes. So I don't know what that means. They have like a ton of like different brush options. By the way, I was quite overwhelmed. Some of them I felt like weren't worth the $5 if you're paying for like a couple. But I feel like this is kind of worth it. These are 15 for acrylics and watercolors. I'm glad I read that now and not. Really like the variety of shapes there are in here. I hope they're good, but I don't know. It's $5 whole for these, which isn't too bad. Like, okay. And then the last thing I got from Five Below. Oh, I hit my mic. Is an acrylic paint stains. All this was $5. 30. It says 30 whole colors that are $5. So I don't even know how good this is gonna be. I know with like Joann's or Michael's, most of their big like paint kits are like can range up to $30 depending on which acrylic paint you do go for, obviously. If you're looking for more expensive acrylic paint, I did go to Michael's. I went to Joann's first, and Joann's didn't have much clay stuff. I thought they had a lot more clay stuff, but I sometimes do get Michael's. Oh God, I can't open this stupid box. Sometimes I get Joann's and Michael's mixed up, so. I mean, it's nice. They're in plastic tubes. I don't know if I like that. Well, everything's in plastic tubes to me. But, I mean, they feel full. I don't want to, like, press it too hard, but they feel pretty full. Like, this is a decent size. And if it's good acrylic paint, you don't need much. But I'm a little worried it might not be as pigmented as I would hope for. Just because like some cheaper, I will agree, some cheaper acrylic paint at that sometimes is just like not worth the price, and just paying like the extra $2 to get a little bit more expensive acrylic paint just so you can actually see the color is definitely worth it. I actually wanted to get, I watch a YouTuber named Mariah Elizabeth. If you don't know who she is, go watch her. She has definitely inspired me to continue like my art and stuff like that. And she has like an acrylic set paint out. I kind of want to try it because she has really cute color combos. But anyways, they kind of look like toothpaste. Like, you know, the little travel toothpaste, they look like that. Like, honestly, if you put Crest on here, I'd probably get confused and put paint on my teeth. But the rest of the stuff I got from Michael's, I wanted to be transparent with you guys because I didn't have every thing for my stuff because I thought I wasn't going to paint anymore. So here we go. I bought gesso, of course. Wow! Gesso is what you always need. I highly recommend gesso because it helps paint stick on better, and it's a white base, which makes colors pop out better. Recommend get a big one because you're an artist, you're probably gonna use it. This is only like $11, so it's not bad for the size. What else did I get? Oh, things are falling. I got two different sealants. I got Mod Podge Matte and Mod Podge Gloss. It always depends on my mood. What am I feeling? Am I feeling a matte kind of girl, or am I feeling a glossy kind of girl? We'll never know. At least right now. And then I got premium clay 2-set. Maybe like $5. But it's not bad. It's cute. She's cute. And I'm gonna get like a big like clay thing set. Just because like I'm not really getting into it just yet, but probably eventually. I do want to actually like obviously upgrade my tools and stuff like that. Like I'm not I am an artist on a budget, but eventually this artist will spend the money where it needs to be spent, obviously. And then obviously pink soap, which is to clean your brushes. Always clean your brushes. I know. As an artist herself, I know how lazy I can get with painting and cleaning and all that stuff. I do want to feel these though. I was about to say taste test.
What the hell are you talking about?
Recommend me any air dry clay things, polymer clay in general that are. I don't have a how do you say it? A clean, like a thing that you can actually like put your pottery in and stuff. I don't have that. I have an oven, and I have time. They're soft. So what is the difference between a jelly hand? I thought it was going to be movable, and I was really scared because I was like, I need it like this kind of thing. It's very soft. I love when brushes are super soft. This brush makes absolutely no sense sometimes. It's a silly little brush. They're kind of tiny, but honestly, I have tiny hands. I have small hands, so I need small brushes. I don't like big brushes because it makes me feel like I'm a 5-year-old. Like these are actually really nice sizes for me personally. I'm gonna try this one. This one looks really liquidy though. Ooh. Okay. I'm scared. What if it eats me? It looks like freaking The Thing. Oh, that feels weird. Oh, that feels. I don't know if I like that. Oh my. Can Selena open it though? Is another. Oh, it's. Oh, smells weird. Let's see. Ooh, it's like slime. It's very soft. I don't know if you guys can. ASMR. Very nice, actually. Ooh. It feels like fake clay, though. Weird, huh? I don't know what I'm gonna create with this. I'm just letting y'all know. I think I'm gonna create one little character for this video. It's just so light. I'm used to heaviness, I guess. Because, like, with the Crayola, it was, like, super heavy. Not super heavy, but there was some weight to it. And, like, this feels like no weight to it. So I wonder how it's going to dry. How long it will take. I don't know what to create just yet. I wanted to create a ghosty because it's, like, my #1 thing I'm good at with figurines, I guess. So let me open. And the more I play with it, the more it doesn't feel like heaviness. It's nice though. Like it feels like Play-Doh a little bit. So I'm rolling this ball and I realize I'm gonna show you, but there are cracks in this clay that I literally tried to smooth out. As you can see, I'm trying to smooth it out like any, I guess, clay you would normally do. And you can see that big ass crack that I had. So I went to go get water because normal air dry clay, you can go get some water, water it up, smooth it around, and the cracks will be gone. However, whatever this clay is made out of, it physically could not smooth out the crack, or it would just move the crack somewhere else. So no matter how many times I try to smooth this clay out, it was just a struggle. And now I'm creating the base for my ghosty, kind of setting where the ghost is gonna stand up. And as you can see, I'm trying to smooth out everything and make it as smooth as possible. But like I said, I don't think this is like actual air dry clay. I think this is like the Qlowdy air dry clay. And while it's kind of nice and you can really, as you can see, set a face really easily and it's not as messy, smoothing out everything, if you want everything to look nice and pretty, or you want certain wrinkles to go, like look at all those wrinkles. I tried to smooth it out with water and it just would not budge, and that was like the most annoying part of doing this. And yes, this is me being a voiceover, because the rest of the video is just you watching me create these little ghosties, little ghost people. I make 3. I decided to make 3 because the clay was kind of cool and I wanted to try it out more and see if I made 3 of them, how well each of them were gonna be. And I try to make it like look floaty and, you know, set where like the deepness of the eye sockets would go, that kind of stuff. But everything else was just kind of like the struggle bus of a century trying to work it out. But enjoy the rest of this. I don't know why I'm reading tips. Oh, wait, I was reading to see if they give me any tips about smoothing things out. See, how long it would dry. And the drying took about like maybe 2 days. It still felt the same after 2 days, and I was a bit worried about that, but I've had the ghosties for like a week now and nothing seems to be awry, moved. So whatever this clay is made out of is really nice. And you'll know my final thoughts at the end, but I just wanted to come in and say this clay, if you're looking for a wrinkle-free smoothness or mobility or like malleableness of the clay, this ain't the clay for you. Just get the Crayola air dry clay. Michaels or Joann's has their own air dry clay. But this ain't air dry clay, in my opinion. This isn't really air dry clay. And I go to the next color, which is purple. And I make little mittens for the guy, little hands, because I wanted to see how well the clay would attach to each other. And it attached pretty well. But yeah, voiceover Selena is done. All right, back at it again. So I tried to do the same thing that I did with the first ghost, which was add arms to it, or little hands that like are peeping out of the thing. But I decided to make little headphones for this character so they would look cool. For the green ghosty. For the purple ghosty, I did absolutely nothing else to it. But I did add headphones to this ghosty to see how well it would do, and to be honest, not that well. Like I said again, it's so hard to smooth things out with this clay that it just made the headphones look a little weird, but it worked at the end of the day. And yeah, so I made 3 little ghosties. And now I'm just showing you like the final results of each of them. Just to fix little things and just look how many cracks there are. Usually there are not that many when I use normal air dry clay, but this one should wrinkle. And now we wait for them to dry. Okay, this is 2 days later. And they're soft, as you can see. I'm dropping them with no risk of them like breaking. Luckily me that I didn't drop them too bad, but they felt fake. Like it felt like it wasn't. And then as it dried, some of the cracks got worse. I don't know how that's possible, but the drier I got, the more crack they got actually. But surprisingly, they stayed in shape. But whenever I squished on the bottom, it was like wet and smooth because I used a lot of water on the bottom so I can smooth it out. And I don't know if the clay can absorb the water. As you can see, I can still indent it, so it freaks me out that it's dried, and now we're gonna gesso it up. Gesso it up. And now we'll be able to use the brushes to see how well they pick up, how they blend out. The brushes were probably my favorite thing because they were small enough to fit actually in my hand, but grip it enough where I can actually grip it. But me and Gesso, we're enemies. I'm just impatient. So I don't let this gesso dry like it should, but the clay did take the gesso really well actually, except for a few areas that still had like air pockets, or there was just too many cracks for the gesso and the clay to connect. So I thought that was interesting. And now we finally get to try out this big ol' acrylic paint. I'm gonna shade with this gray first to see how well I can shade. Again, me and acrylic aren't that great. I'm still a beginner at it, so we'll see how this like all turns out at the end of the day, and we'll see how pigmented it is, which to be honest with you, it's okay. I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit nervous to full on like paint this. But it is the most fun part. So I haven't done many voiceovers in my time as a YouTuber, so bear with me here. But as you can see, the first thing I do is shade the little ends to make it look like a skirt, and then I'm pretty much shading any crevices there are to make the ghost a bit more depth. I will say this gray is actually quite nice for like shading purposes, but if you're looking for like a pigmented gray, I would say no. I definitely had to go in a few times, and sometimes the gray in the tube did not look like the gray on the ghost. It's definitely more, I would say, like a bluer tone, maybe, of gray. But it is nice for like depth reasons and shading and stuff like that. But pigmented wise, it's it's giving watercolor. I would definitely have to go in at least 2 to 3 coats before this would fully dry. But we're gonna change colors while that's drying. We're gonna go with this black, which I really wanted to use to see how in-depth it was. And as you can see, I'm impatient, so I used my blow dryer. But just kind of add a little bit more oomph in certain areas of my ghost that I wanted to, like the eye sockets, certain shadows. And this black was not too bad, but it's like the gray. I feel like it definitely, it just needs like a 1 or 2 coat kind of thing. But for the price, it's not like terrible or anything. I've definitely had like worse acrylic paint. So I was surprised to see any black at all to add depth and everything. And it blended okay with the gray. As you'll see as I try more colors, I don't know if it blended well with the other colors that well, in my opinion. And this orange, while bright the first time you put it on, you let it dry and it kind of muted a little bit, so I had to put another layer on for sure, just to add a bit more. As you can see, I'm trying to blend the things out, but it turns out all right at the end of the day. And now there are 2 brushes that look very similar, and to be honest, I think they are, just one has fewer strands. And now to add the goo, to make it real gooey and ghost-like and ecoplasma kind of stuff. This green was actually really good. I actually really like it. It landed and it was pretty pigmented until it dried. I'd probably next time I'll probably do another coat of this green before putting on a darker green, which I did later on to add a bit more grossness to it. But I should have just left it at this neon green because it adds something cool to the ghosty that I really like, and it gives it gives the cracks a reason to be there. So I added any like big cracks there were on the ghost. I added like the green goo on it to make it look like the ghost is like falling apart, and like the darker green is just to add a bit more depth where the goo is and stuff like that, to add a bit more grossness. But I feel like I did too much for the eyes and all three of them. So it makes it look a little muddy in there, especially since I'm a beginner with acrylic paint and not knowing how to blend well just yet. So certain parts made certain areas on each ghost look a little weird, and my shading of the eyes just didn't work out to my plan. And the last but not least is sealing it all. I used the gloss one because I wanted a glossy thing. I do have Posca pens, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't add white highlights to certain areas. That would have made it look cooler, especially with the goo. But we're here to learn. But the gesso really made them look nice and glossy. You'll see the end result soon, as well as my final thoughts. So voiceover Selena is gone. And that is it for the 5 and below. With all the time to dry and paint, it took about maybe a week or so, give or take a couple days. I let the clay dry an extra day or an extra couple hours, as well as I let the paint dry like an extra day, just so it could really so I could see like all of its like little cracks and crevices and see how it was. And by my lovely commentary, these are super, like, the air dry clay from 5 and below is super weird. I think it's one of those cloud air dry clays and not like actual air dry clay, because oh god, it's so light. It feels literally like a plushie. It's so light, but I am afraid to squish it and like, or it fall and it getting squished. But I'm not afraid of it falling and breaking. Like, everything seemed so fragile, I ain't gonna lie, but not fragile to the point where it's gonna rip off. Like, I felt like everything was secure. It's a different clay than I'm used to. I'm used to feeling it being a little rough on the edges, especially when it's like done drying. So it's definitely like that cloud-esque kind of clay that I don't know if I like. Obviously, if you can't tell, the paint really didn't stick to some parts of the clay. It could be the 5 and below acrylic paint, could easily be just based off the paint. You know, some clay likes some paint and some clay doesn't like all paint. You know, there are little cracks and crevices. Me and gesso, I still haven't gotten used to gesso, and I'm very impatient when it comes to having it be a white base and just watching it dry. But I definitely will use I do have Posca pens. We'll use my paint pens more often, because I should have added some little shinies there, and obviously I should have added my signature somewhere onto these, but here we are. But I do love these little creations. I should name them. The headphones is Patrick. You know why? Because he reminds me of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. The long friend is Bob. Is Steve. Don't worry, I did actually get air dry clay, so hopefully in the future I'll be creating more little fellas or characters. And if you have seen my art recently or my ranking video recently and you want to see any of those characters be created, or you've seen my art over the past years and you want to see a certain character create, I will try my best to recreate it in clay. As well as I plan on doing more little kits like this, or plan on using other companies' clay and stuff like that. And you guys want to see me do more stuff like that, please let me know in the comments down below, because I like to know what you guys want to see for my artistic abilities. The paintbrushes are really good. We're super soft. Nothing really, no little thingies fell out. Sometimes the cheap paintbrushes, like Dollar Trees, after like 1 time or 2 times use, sometimes little fellas like to be a little surprise for you, and they'll just come out of nowhere and start falling out. But none of them really have fallen out, especially after like cleaning them and leaving them in water for quite some time. So that's good. So I say the paintbrushes are probably the winner here in terms of the 5 and below stuff. The air dried clay, obviously I have a lot of it. I definitely like the feeling of this, so it might be good to use this air dried clay for like more patches than anything, in like actual air dried clay, so it actually like can patch up without adding more weight to the said thing that I'm making, which would be nice. But it's definitely not as like reliable. Obviously, I think this is meant more for kids so they can get used to clay and get used to everything. But like the smoothing out, like you can still, oh my god, I get scared every time. You can still see wrinkles. Like I couldn't really smooth anything out. Like I could add stuff together, but once it's added, it's added. You can't like really do anything to it. The acrylic paint, a little goes a long way. Obviously I bought it. I bought 30 paint tubes, so I'm gonna use it more often in my videos and stuff like that, to 1, to get rid of it, and 2, to see if I like any of the colors, because obviously I didn't use them all. The acrylic paint isn't bad if it's your first time starting out. I would recommend this paint because it's a nice variety of colors. You don't have to worry about mixing colors thing at all. Like 5 and below, I'm keeping an eye on her. I want to try out because they also have polymer clay there. I want to try it out. And like I said, if you recommend any stores or any kits or anything like that for me to try on this channel, please let me know. This is a brand new section on my channel where I just do my art stuff. I don't know what to call it. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new videos. And if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. It's alright, it's alright. But I hope you have a good day, good night, good wherever you are at this moment in time. And I will see you all in Ghost World. Woo!